iko kule ma me alon ko kuma ya bakale membe dending na bankola wa bola tali warata bu ko be banko kan député bungo nana si doku kunna luwa bu ko doku la kuma ya beti andum maralo kake luwandin na luwa o luwa la banko la luwa bu ko constitutional kuma ya beti so wakamala kuma ya bakale ni ibe luwa men dedala pour même nyanta banku dingol marala ate banku dingol damma marala abe isoto fengo marala abe man satalla en na nemol fana mendinna abe wol fana marala our natural resources amba na nafulolu na fengo ferending nimmol ye nyotonye luwa men be o maralal même fongol be marakan luwa men nyanta kafo nyanta kam mara nyaadile nyanta kam soto fengo mara nyaadile nyanta ka tilinte ma nyaadile wom kuleta kuma yata bakale ni wo bina moya jube mune fennu be o kono ela nyinin karo e mendi to nyala luwa bu ko nyin nyin tenen tambila julay karo til worowlo man sakunda ya nati député bu ngotole ko manto men bina me sanje kelinsi ye luwa bu ko nati député bu ngoto insafo ya gasetle atara man table député bu ngoto folo cause ni ya gaset wala nginte ko man sakunda nyanta ka sign pour ka dundi ya samba ye printing ke GPPC anda ya dundi pour ka je ko kari saba nyaato nyanta ni ya gaset nyanta lan la député bu ngotol so gaset loni mbite ma siata sanje kelintir so ya landi député bu ngoto o fana carte d'identité sila o fana bina sanjo sila pour nga jube so atara janni wotema loi bu ko nyi mbe alone maralobe kere loi menna wala mu 1997 constitution odi ya jamme loi me alon ko abe marakangala num sanji muannim fula kono ngaje ko kujamal lebe je men alon ko falinta je kujamal lebe je men alon ko ino nyanda ke falinne pour ka banku dingol bi ke marano ngaji ko loi tinya jamal be ke kanje o loi bu ko sembo men di mansala sembo warta bakale katambe banku dingol la so ngaje ko wutabe kummala la kaw loi nyin jube natara no man wo loi kilin falinno barin se loi nyin be jube to do an entire overhaul of the constitution pour ka buka kuto nati kadi banku dingol la ni haklo bakan kabri man sakunda sita 26 Minister for Justice menkera Batambedu ay proposal okele ay below present National Assembly pour ka CRC Constitutional Review Commission pour ka constitute and the Constitutional Review Commission constitute ye molu jube to jigta ko menni ye loi lonne they are constitutional lawyers, they are constitutional experts kawol jube ke kafu nyoma pour ye loi kuto pour yade da banko banko fana ye nafulo dapansiye o Constitutional Review Commission loi le fana yewol fana londi they were established by an act of parliament so ayo below established the parliament ya fole nyanta ka jo nafulu nanka momen na parliament yo be fole o be katra bilo nyin konole nyanta ka mol nyinin ka nyaadile saterin sate ba banta ba pour ka futa je ka banku dingol be nyinin ka Gambia anin Gambia bantala pour kana kaytandi mol lako aliyambula do ko menna nyina mu reportoti banko dingol ye nyine fo dendin keba musu kafurin ke meya fanno memma fanno nafulti fuare ye be nyinin ka hani men yalon ko almatu lanye lanjur tolu ke be nyinin ke la nyanto mineti dina o dina ke be nyinin ka pour saje ikana dina killing tonye dina doli banko kan wali yol bekele yo submit man sakunda ya atew man sakunda kilingo wolle nata ye bilo ye CRC report nying that white paper janni ba fala iba député ibe assemble the National Assembly pour ka constitutional nying table for the first time minister jele funtita ye disagreement okay the content of the bill. Presidential advisors disagreed on the content of the CRC report. Ministers disagreed on it. Be jalay roje pour ka jeko nyimu bukulete me alon ka natale pour ka president barole target pour ka la nyanto tinya ka jeko amanyanna you know ala tam follow me alon ko aya saf député ya e mansaya kono pour ko fanan kontige on président baro la nyanto la tinyalati andum fana o mu toñerolde damma pour wala ya tinna you know fengo fen kuma kendo men bebe o buku kendo kono men bebe kalisar nga be kende yaring banko dingol la nyanto ni la nafa ka basic ka fay banta nafulo men tinyata kono nte buka query baake wala because nafulo nying ni nata jebe 100 million plus we are talking about 100 billion plus me alon ka tinyata man sekunda on corruption. So I'm not talking about, we are talking about 1 billion. So 100 million spending on that Constitutional Review Commission, they are looking at that. But I'm looking at hadama dingol ye mirol menka pour kaje ko nyanta lafta ka maratenne nga one single interest le jibe wala minti ko president term limit wala ya tinna ko because ka fay banta. And president was happy with that and jubilated with the members of the parliament. Many along they rejected that. So yeta si few years later, yeta si wo buku kilingo ya jibe many along ko wol mete febo je yewol bondi je ani yite lafta many along ko wolle bete febo le yewol ko buku kilingo nyinka ye murin na banku dingol ko lafta menna ite ko yemal lafi wala yew fay bari ite lafta menna yew impose banku bu but that's not possible. Hadma di yala miro to wote kenola jannim bina ka foko content menni ba kono menni yalon ko man bete amena ngari jek miro fango be danta wolto pour ka jeko banko dingul manya na sonnawol hanna danta damala we cannot agree with that. Constitutional building mu fennete me yalon ko akolyata bakela manke Gambia banko damma.
Now what people are saying is 2020 mu atolatina or failed like in 2020 because you people we are also fight about this retroactive thing. And there were negotiations with Goodluck Jonathan. According to the Information Minister, Dr. Ceesay on behalf of CIA at the time, it was only Dabo who said no. But they were ready to compromise. But Dabo was the only person who said no. This 2020 draft. After spending, that was a negotiation with the Goodluck Jonathan.
That's the 2020
draft.
Janika nati for anarim kola.
Anarim kola.
Okay. Yeah. Natara Ismaila kole ntatale nkachata. Janibe luwa buko nyin natila. Pour nga consensus building ke. Pour sa janim buko nyin nata. Asatara nga political consensus sort. Constitution is a political document. Man, the political party nyanda engage sufficiently a consensus building. You cannot have everything. You understand? But woman ke constitution ning tambiring kolalem ismaila kanyinfo. So that's irrelevant to me. Natar nu janni woka kele tada consensus building a mulbe sonta. Dabuda ma balanta. I could come in to say janna be fenkala then dabunyo latina filter. But o firing kola bantalem. What sense does it make? A bill that has been thrown out. So you are telling me how could a post discussion affect a prior action? I don't know. That's an irony, Buba. It doesn't make sense.
If my memory serves me right, I think the engagement or that consultations in-house in the Gambia and in Nigeria happened prior to it being tabled and rejected.
No, it was after.
The Nigeria trip.
Yeah, the Nigeria trip was after. The Nigeria trip with Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan started the consultations after when it was rejected. They had a session in Nigeria, and he was here too. Yeah.
So I'm coming for you.
I stand to be correct, but I felt that consultation happened prior. But I stand to be correct.
No, I know that there was a discussion in Nigeria.
It's a while now,
which particularly attended. After the bill has been thrown out.
Okay.
I know that very well.
Okay.
But malum fo kacha dol fanan ketale bang. Janni ba fala bilo nyimbe fayla banda. But ngaklobe kacha do kanne menni kata pour ka jeko iba keno la nyaadi la pour ka bilo nyim murindina bilo nyim firing kola banda. You understand ngawlon. So but niko ase ngamenke on Monday ase influence no. I can have reservations on that. But niko men keta nung janni kacha nyimbe kala. I cannot understand that one. And let me tell you one thing. Ntol tata kachala le deputy ol. Ning Dr. Ibn Chambers. Sinyafula ning Goodluck Jonathan. Fanan kachala le Gambia jam. Deputy ol ndamma. Pour nga compromise kenyoy. And we almost struck a compromise. Pour ka jeko president afela sabe sanji tan kala. constitution of fabina alani sanji lul labon kono fatna kono bar say naya taraw sanji lulo men kono o sanji lulo nyin wobe kontila bari sanji lul dol men tambita wolta kontila député wol fombe tata nga compromise strike wol president supreme islamic council bejel president christian council bejel gender activist wol be siri njel majority leader beje minority leader beje député wol be beje be kambenta nga bundal jibe membe dendin citizenship la banko di ya nyantol banko di ya kaytol nga bundal jibe membe dendin 50+1 nga bundal jibe membe dendin man sa kewla time limit la fo nga kambe ngo soto wol kono pour ka je ko ni Allah because nintol tata fo la bango yaje ko minority leader ni UDP député wol kambenta fango ferendina isalon ko woto be UDP bulle
yeah
because ntol buka si kula ko me alon ko ay banko dingol affect la adum political ko me alon ko a sensitive tale aya tara num abe party affect la aya tara num consultation o manke
so I'll agree to pour baro Canada more than 10 years
ma fa Canada more than 10 years bari agree ta men na wala nyinti ko abe sanjilu labango nyim men kono science obe kontila le bari sanjilu lo men tambita wote kontila so hani president wala député wala be kambenta wala wala president be nyanto sotla aylo ko tanke carte fayola
in 2026
nalo ta be kala ko ay sanji tanni lulle ke man sayara bari komen ko akana ta pour ka sanji mo wanke manta because ko nga jawara kele wala nga ya jame kele wala so nyille mu tafundol to men yalon ko mbeta ta fonga consensus bill wolto
so I'll agree to wala what happened
so agree ta wala man itolle respond mo woto dron 1 month later dron nga moy constitution kuto gazeta constitution kuto me alonko falendiro men kata je a tambita falendiri keme falendiri muanna
26 year I think 26 changes
126
year 126
wannan ko men tambita falendiri keme falendiri muanna
126
fellata o kan so wayatande ko jamfaabe kuwol konal oto nga men agri oto obe mol dalle to ta mantara sondo molto adu men ni fanan nata fali kono tumando se compromise strike no demande bari men ni fanan nata fali kono wala mu fendelte men yalla ko niyo bondi buko kono ya tinyale wala mu bu harbe ko ni hadama di ngon niyo bonda kono a jato katala lari ne bar na faaw na fatal wannen kata muta nga fi nga ke din ko kono because nabe lari nyo fona tolta na fata tarlala
so what they were saying is like Ablai made a very interesting point. Ablai Ceesay of Honorable Ablai Ceesay of Olwindum. In 2020, you were convincing him ko alba convince kandeno mil benunji in the 5th legislature. Iba foka nunko al carte of a draft na tambita iba jela we can amend. So they are telling you also, okay, now nyin draft do nyille anati amam perfect we agree, but nga carte of I tambi na tambita iba jela ko we are able to amend some of these things. And in that committee, I understand ko minority more less yata committee. Why didn't you allow that?
Buba bekela banko na full tinyalti yaji eteka eko 200 million plus has been spent now on a single constitution. When that bill is passed, it is going to be referred to a committee on constitutional matters.
Yes,
Human rights and constitutional matters will be referred to them. They must, and that is a must, go for benchmarking and look at other legislations across other countries. It should not be less than 2 or 3 legislations in Bemen Jibel, because we are moving from a governance to another governance. We want to get that entire overhaul of a system. We are bringing in a new legislation to take charge of the affairs of the new breeds of generation, and issues have changed. So they must look at other legislations and see what prevails in those countries. Whether some legislation whether they are actually practicable.
So you're looking at the money that will be spent.
Yeah, the money that will be spent later will be quite huge. Do you understand? And atakela odamati. The reason why Antolman you'll trust, you know that one? You have seen the tourism petition that came to National Assembly. When that petition came to the floor of Parliament, they saw the truth and they stood on a broad daylight and against those things. Evidence were brought before the committee. You have seen those things. They voted against that. We struggled to bring it back. One person who brought in difference was Salif Jao of Jokan, who abstained and refused to vote. And that gave us the power over them. And otherwise, they would have withdrawn
the entire National Assembly, he was the only one
He was the only one.
Who did not come.
He
did not come last month.
He is genuine. And
he seems to be a very principled person. And he's
attacked him on the floor of parliament.
Is it NPP or NRP?
It's NPP.
He was a GDC,
yeah.
Ahmad Ba attacked him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Minister for Lands attacked him. Why he abstained on the floor of parliament. He was mad at him. He told him, it's my right to either vote or not to vote. You cannot dictate that as a minister, despite the fact that I'm in the same party with you. I don't know, for whatever reason, he didn't come to parliament on Monday.
Yeah, because he voted against this constitution.
Exactly.
He cannot come again.
So let me tell you some of those proofs.
He was there.
Let me tell you some of those proofs.
Yes.
Budget allocations for the president. They allocated 25 million, 30 million for the president's, meets the people talk on the draft budgets 2 or 3 consecutive times. When we submit proposal to reduce, they disagreed and their disagreement stands. Do you understand? You talk about the petroleum saga we are talking about. We wanted to debate on it on the very day we led the report. They said we referred it. No one knows whether they are going to frustrate the process to refer it to a longer period of time. And we voted on it, and there are no stands. Anything that we vote on that is on simple majority, these people will take it. Let me tell you, even if we push these people to the last end, because even to pass the constitution to the 3rd reading, for it to be a law, is still 3/4. Even to go to that level, they are going to be humiliated because they will not agree on anything. It's going to be a waste of resources and a waste of time for the country. And we cannot subject ourselves to that because we know them. And we are, mind you, these people are capable of giving anybody $2 to $3, $4 million to bring in this law because it's going to protect them post their government's era. This is what it is going to do. So they are capable of doing anything. So for us, we do this thing on principle and we stand by those principles. People must have observations as to we could have allowed it to go to have Barrow spend more than 20 years or 25 years, but another president that comes in is going to start afresh. But we took out Barrow, Jammeh, through a political force that was very powerful when there was no time limit.
The same can happen.
The same thing can happen if we have a serious opposition. An opposition that does not look at selfish interests and individual interests, but look at interests of this country, we can take out Barrow 2026. So even if Barrow is going to spend only 5 years, but there is no accountability and transparency, we cannot vet our ministers, we cannot sit them before the floor of parliament, like what happened today. This minister who is newly appointed would have come to the floor of parliament. We have a special select committee or a committee on foreign affairs to vet him, to vet his documents, to vet his integrity, to vet his track records as to when he was serving as a minister of defense for that to happen. But President single-handedly has done that. Nobody has power over that. These are some of the principles we were trying to query.
Interesting. But as a National Assembly member, what do you think should be the way forward as far as constitutional is concerned now? Amend the 1997 constitution or another constitution or the 2020 constitution?
If I want to go back to history, because this is why in the National Assembly, when I came newly, but I tried to limit it because I cannot label much on the past. When a lot is happening today, I cannot correct. You understand? This is why now I will limit a little bit. You understand me? So mentam beta that has passed. But man sakundanya ndaka menke purka luwa bu kuto nati molia. Ni laftaka natara they are serious. Term limit, they are serious about it. 50+1, they are serious about it. As they were serious in 2018 to amend age limit, to amend, members of the parliament to retain their seats even if they are sacked by their party leaders. Let them bring an amendment on those things. We are going to accept it. If President brings it and he advises his members, we are going to support it. But are they going to do that? Not that they are serious about term limit. They are serious about 50+1. They are serious about those things. Let's bring amendment. Wallahi, opposition
2020 final draft, so they are scared that the president will not have any power. That's what they're saying. They're scared that the president will not have any power.
That's a propaganda.
2024 la draft constitution. And in 1997, ni fulo lete. Ibejo maltala.
I cannot choose between the two.
You cannot choose between two bad things, maybe. That's what you say.
I'm saying I cannot choose between the two. I accept the fact that comme nga accept le ko 99 constitution be Marakan. You understand? You know, andung mbe o loi le koto, adum mbe ko ko ni kala banko ka nyanta katara o loi ni le koto. Ngo accept le. Tumala men no le be Marakan. But nte nyum fulo nte fen accept no la fay.
Kile mo constitutional de kile mo draft le. So
yes.
It's
compare no.
So